I was at many weddings at St. Cecilia's.
My grandfather was a founder.
Oh boy, that's lovely.
And now they took the whole building down.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
It's going to be a community center.
Yeah.
According to the developers at the first presentation.
Shame it wasn't. It's a shame it wasn't.
It probably would have been too expensive to
Yeah.
redo.
Well, Ruth Spataro is trying to preserve a school in the back of an old school on Ridge Road.
Yeah.
In fact, in the late 1800s, there were 13 schools in this area. So you
That
probably,
many, really?
you'd probably be interested in some of the research on the old
Dayton
areas.
Church used to have harvest homes,
Yes.
suppers. That Lizzie Anthony and her mother, Mrs. Meserol, always cooked for it. And everything was donated, from the turkeys to the parsley on the potatoes.
Chicken salad and oysters.
Oysters.
She was a tough old bird. She was a foreman here when I worked here. She was a tough old bird.
You should share that, put, you know, that
She
you worked
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
She was, yes, lived to be over 90 and walked from Dayton to Monmouth Junction to work in the funeral parlor, clean the funeral parlor.
You're talking Lizzie's mother.
Yes, Mrs. Meserol, Bertha Meserol. Oh yeah.
Tony's talking about Lizzie.
Oh, Lizzie, well, Lizzie too.
She was tough.
Was a tough lady.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Tony was employed here for
Yeah.
you people.
Mm.
Yeah.
So provided
I was
those-
so embarrassed one day. I gotta tell you the story. I think it was Hans told me to go down and mop the basement floor, and I had never seen a mop. You know, I didn't know anything. He said, "You take a bucket of water and go down and mop the floor." Well, I took the bucket of water, I threw it on the floor, and I rubbed it, but I never picked it up. He came down and he said, "What did you do?" And he said, "Come on, I'm going to teach you how to do a floor." I was so embarrassed. I'd never mopped the floor. I didn't know what I was doing.
Hans was very meticulous. Hans was very meticulous, Hans Rosenstock. When he ran the egg room and the place, it had to be just so. Otherwise, he was upset. Cleaning job, if you ask me. He's now
teach some women.
Yeah, he's now unfortunately a blessed memory. He ran. He had a hamburger stand in a restaurant in Norfolk, Virginia. And also very proud of that, as I said, and the way he ran that and the way he did it. And he had many buddies down there from the 81st Airborne, was it? 82nd Airborne that he was part of. They moved to Virginia in 1960. Originally, they were also in the egg business down there. It was, I guess it was, and even today, I can tell you, you can take me off the farm, but you can't take the farm from me.
Great
I
place
made
to
a
grow up.
trip across the country last year and saw how beautiful a country we have in America. As I say again, starting right here in Monmouth Junction, New Jersey.
Gives you a sense of appreciation.
Yes.
What it's all about.
Yes. When I was growing up, they were either farmers or railroaders,
Yes, yes.
and the rest were services,
Yeah.
yes, groceries and so forth.
Well, you were in the dairy end of it. That's where my dad grew up. You know, that was his business. Cows. That's what brought us out here. And,
Okay.
yeah, we couldn't get into dairy. It was too big and too much involved.
My dad's
Financially.
uncle owned the farm that was on the IBM property,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and he had a large herd of good Guernsey cows. He was very proud.
He enjoyed going over there. And we had cows, our own milk, right here, 2 cows, because he just couldn't do without it.
We had our own chickens.
Yeah.
Dad grew up on a farm in Kingston, so we had the ducks and the chickens and
It was a background from Europe, agriculture, and became third generation, with my son being involved in it. That's all ended.
Whereabouts in Europe, from what country and what area of that country did your family come from?
Bavaria.
Bavaria?
Have you visited there?
Yeah.
And there's anything that your parents spoke about
He-
that
It's
Oh,
beautiful.
he took our children on a roots trip, 7 years ago.
wonderful.
All three of them.
1990. And,
That's, what a good idea.
Went to see the original homestead, and the barn is converted into a garage because the hotel next door, the brewery, made it into people's, garages when they came from out of town. So no more barns.
My house is not
Now I
standing.
understand, 2 years ago, in the lower level of our home, there's a pizza parlor, believe it or not, which was unheard of in
Yeah,
our
that's
days.
progress, isn't it? We called them tomato pies.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, originally.
In fact, I visited Chambersburg with my daughter a couple of years ago, and there was a sign in the window, tomato pie, and I said to Michelle, that's what we used to call them.
Right.
It wasn't pizza, it was
We
tomato
all
pie.
went to the shore, and there was one place, it was in Asbury Park that we went. On a side street we all went. But to get back to Europe, I also come from Europe. My house was not standing anymore, unfortunately. My grandparents' house was. But I spent 7 years during the war years in England, and then came to America in 1946. Boy, that was culture shock. Came from staid old England to very leisurely America. It was all right. Got used to that one. Lived in Brooklyn, New York, and graduated high school in Brooklyn, New York. And then, as Walter said, he rested on the junction. Come full circle. So he said, I will have been here. It's almost 48 years. And they've all been great. Can't say anything else.
Anything else that you would like to share, Walt?
Well, it's been wonderful living in South Brunswick, and we'll continue to stay here.
Good, very good.
Oh, I hope so, for many more years. And we wish the township more success and another 200 years.
You'll be here for the bash in February, or will you be gone?
I'm afraid we'll be
We
gone.
won't be
That's
here
why I
in
say
February.
I'm sorry I'm going to miss all those good things. But there should be lots of publicity and lots of things that I hope I'll get, because I do get the local papers. I get the Central Post.
Wherever you go.
Yes, ma'am. I subscribe to that. So I should get all sorts of information. And look forward to hearing about it. Hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful time.
Sure,
Celebrate
sure we will. Is there
our
anything
heritages and our
I think
history.
we covered pretty much. Thank you very much. It was
You
very
did a
good.
great job.
Thank you for thinking about
Great
us.
history for that period of time.